This is the plaintiff, Heaven Facey. She says the defendant is her twin sister, and the evil girl poured leave-in conditioner into her expensive sneakers, ruining them for good. She also cut up her pillows, shirts, pants, shorts, and now her clothes are ruined, too. She hasn't spoken to her since she went nuts, is owed $510.99 for her destroyed belongings, and is suing her for just that, here, now. This is the defendant, Angel Facey. She says they lived together in a dorm in college, and they had a lot of issues. Her sister opened her suitcase, threw all of her clothes around their room in a fit of rage, and she had to get a mediator and resident advisor to talk to her. The plaintiff pushed her, and she knows what she did was wrong, but they're even, because the plaintiff stole her clothes and caused all her food to spoil. She's accused of causing trouble with a twin.
All parties, please raise your right hand. People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milianza presiding. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning. Litigants have been sworn.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
All right. Heaven Facey and Angel Facey, you are twins, correct? Are you identical twins?
Yeah.
Identical twins. I think that's a first on the People's Court. All right, ladies, tell me your tale of woe.
Okay, so it was in December. My parents were going out of town for like the week of Christmas, and it was Christmas break for us because we're in college. So we can't stay on campus, and like Angel and my parents, they don't really get along. So I was already staying there, and they were gonna leave, you know, go on vacation. So she was like,
they were gonna leave you two who don't get along in the same house for Christmas, and they were gonna get out of Dodge, right, Dad?
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
5.
Okay.
Sometimes.
So you have 5 kids, and how old? How old are you two?
We're 19.
And how old are the others?
The oldest is 24, but she doesn't live here. 20 and 18.
No, that's not their ages.
Tell me how old your siblings are. You failed the test.
The first one, I'm pretty sure she's like 25.
Wait, you don't know either. How old are your siblings?
My oldest sister, she's 26. My second oldest sister is 21. Me and my sister are 19, and my brother is 17.
It's close.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
So they're literally going out of town. And who's staying in the house?
Me, my brother, my older sister, and then Angel.
The older one, the 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay, and Angel. And you and Angel have not been getting along.
Not at all.
And your parents know this.
Yeah.
And how long has it been that you have not been getting along?
We haven't been getting along since like August of 2022.
And did you get along before that?
Yeah, like she was like my best
Like
friend.
really tight? And
Yeah, we did everything together.
So what went wrong according to you?
I say it's the guy she's dating. Like
Because?
Just who he is. Like, I don't want to say it because, like, she's going to be like, see, she's talking about my business right now. And I feel like he's manipulating her because I'm like, you cut off your whole family and he's not saying anything about it. And he's the reason you cut off your whole family. So I'm like, obviously he's not objecting to it. He's obviously supporting that. And like,
did you cut off your whole family?
No, I mean, my whole family cut me off. Back in late July, I told my parents that the guy I was dating, they didn't approve. And one of the nights I was just like, I want to spend the night at his house. They're like, no, you need to come back home or you're being kicked out. And me and Heaven both stayed out that night. So we were both trying to knock on the door. They put their hands on me, so I was like, I left the home.
They being your parents?
My parents. So eventually, like, I leave with my boyfriend, and I came back a few days later with Heaven. My parents said, Heaven can stay, but you can't stay here anymore. So, like, they basically chose her, like, over me, basically, what I felt
But
like.
at the time, you and Heaven were on the same side, right?
Yeah, we both stayed out that night, but they told her that she could stay and that I had to leave.
Right, so it's not that they picked her over you, they picked her and didn't pick you. It's not over you,
Yeah, even though we did the same thing, which I was kind of confused about, but I didn't argue because...
Well, I think it's about the guy, right?
Yeah, but...
What's so bad about the guy, Dad?
He's a lot older than,
Like, more than 10?
Yeah.
Yes.
More than 20?
No.
He's
All right.
30.
She's an adult.
I understand that.
Yeah, but they
And-
met when they were in
and
high school.
She never introduced us to him
Okay.
formally.
Okay.
I don't know his name, anything about this
Well,
dude.
she can't very well do that when she's kicked out of the house, though,
No,
right?
prior.
No, it
Prior.
wasn't. It did not go like that.
These litigants are twin sisters. The plaintiff says the defendant maliciously ruined her clothes and she needs to be paid back. Now, the defendant says her sister started it by taking her clothes and trashing her room. Let's listen.
Let's talk about what happens in college. According to you, your sister was sabotaging you in your dorm because you two live in the same dorm. Now, tell me exactly the arrangements. What kind of dorm setup is it?
So my stuff is set up on one side, and before we moved in, I have like text messages where I'm saying, do you want to get a mini fridge? And she's like, yeah. I said, how much are you willing to split, like go on it for? She said up to $60. So when we get in the dorm, I wait about 2-3 weeks, and I'm saying, are you gonna pay me half for the mini fridge? Are you gonna pay me half? She said like, I have to wait till I get paid.
Okay.
And we get paid, and I still don't get paid the money. So I'm asking her, I asked her one day, I was fed up. I was like, are you gonna pay me half for the fridge or not? She was laying in bed. She kind of like brushed me off. So I said, okay, well, if you're not gonna do that, if you're not gonna pay me the money, I'm gonna take the food
Your food out of the fridge.
Yeah, which I did. And then after that, my fridge would be turned off. It would be leaking. So I'd come home from work, and like my food would be spoiled. Like it would happen probably about like every other week where I'd have to buy new groceries because my stuff was being turned off. I'd come home and my rug would be moved, my drawers would be pulled out.
So you think she was taking your clothes or something like that?
I know she was, because I have pictures where on Instagram she's wearing my things. And I eventually went to the RA saying that my stuff is being touched, like my underwear is going missing, my shirts, my work shirts and everything like that, and it was gone. And so I ended up going through her things, and I found my stuff. I told the RAs, Heaven was just like, she didn't have a right to go through my things.
and find the stuff I stole.
That's yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'll give you your say in a moment.
She
Go ahead.
said the reasoning that I didn't, that she didn't give me back my stuff is because I didn't want it, which was not true. I don't have a place to stay. Like, I want everything that's mine. So if I wouldn't leave it on purpose.
When was the last time you talked to your parents?
Well, I haven't spoken to my mom since July.
Are you serious? Have you spoken to your dad?
Kinda.
Was your family close before this?
I feel like it was close, but just the whole thing, like my dad lied when he said that he didn't know my boyfriend's name or anything like that. I sat him down, I brought him to lunch, and I explained everything to him, who I was dating, the age difference. I showed him pictures and everything like that, and he made it seem like he understood. And I came home another night, and from the window, like the window was open, I came in and everybody was in their room talking about me and the situation. So I tried to explain everything to them, but they basically didn't agree. So it was kind of heartbreaking after that. And
when was the last time you spoke to your sister?
We haven't had a real conversation since the RA meeting.
Since the RA thing.
And she basically said, like, she was rubbing it in everybody's face, like, oh, my sister's homeless. My parents kicked her out. My parents kicked her out. My RAs were just like, you need to settle the situation. Do you still love your sister? They asked Heaven that, and she was like, no, I don't love my sister. And after that, I knew basically the relationship was, like, tarnished because, like, clothes can be like replaced and like I can get my clothes back, but once you say like you don't love me, it's just kind of like, okay, what can I really do about that? Like, I don't always like my sister, but I always love her. So the fact that she was saying that and laughing about it, it was like we don't have a relationship after that.
What happened with the RA?
The RA situation, that's not how it happened. First of all, with the mini fridge, yeah, I did not pay her for that.
Were you supposed to?
I was supposed to, but I didn't know it was like a time limit. And I don't mind that she's mad about the fridge, but then she didn't tell me she was gonna throw my food out. That's the thing. I came back and and my food was just on the floor, you know? And I was mad about that, obviously, because I was like you
hadn't she told you that if you're not gonna pay for the fridge, you can't use it?
No, she didn't tell me that. That's the thing. That's why I was saying, like, I wish I would have had notice, because then I would have either paid her the money or I would have.
Did you take her clothes while you guys were dorming together? Are you guys dorming together now?
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. Are you two fighting and arguing or just ignoring each other?
Just ignoring each other.
You're in the same room and you're ignoring each other. You were in the same womb. and you're ignoring each other. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
Welcome back to the People's Court. I'm Harvey Levin. This must be incredibly hard for the father to watch these two twins, his daughters, fight it out like this, fight it out in court. Let's go back inside the courtroom.
Did you say in that at that RA meeting that you didn't love your sister?
Yeah, I did say that.
Do you regret saying that?
I do regret it because after, what she didn't say is we all went inside the room after, and I apologized with all the RAs there. I apologized, and we hugged after. So it's not like I just said that.
Wait, you apologized for what? For saying that?
For saying that.
Okay.
I apologized to her for saying that, and we all hugged after. And so
because it wasn't true, right?
Yeah,
it's not how you feel. And you were just speaking out of anger.
Yeah, I told her that because she was lying on me because she's saying I'm stealing the clothes. But what really happened with the clothes was the day that, because when we moved into our dorms, I was the only one in the house. My parents weren't there, and I did not have, like, they were out of town again. They were on another cruise, and then so.
Can you gotta stop now? I can't. Dad, you have it's funny, but it's not that funny. You have a critical crisis with these twins, and you're gonna that things are horrible, that an RA had to get involved, that there had to be a mediator, and you guys go off on a cruise on Christmas and leave your children behind?
This was before.
I'm talking to Dad. Okay, go ahead.
It wasn't like that. We did not know how serious it was.
Neither one of them had texted you guys and told you how bad it was? Neither one of them had said, we're not speaking to each other. Neither. Did you talk to her at all? Because I'm trying to imagine a world. In my world, I have 3 daughters. And if 2 of them get into a fight, I literally have to block them. So I don't have to hear the 2 of them talking trash about each of them saying this one's a this and this one's a that. And I can't believe she said this in front of it. And I blocked them for a few hours, and then I unblocked them. And then I see, did you guys work it out? But I make sure they worked it out. Like, I don't go, you know what I mean? You guys leave. And what did you think was going to happen? Did anybody call you on your vacation?
Yes.
Oh, good. And what happened, which is the source of why we are here on that vacation, while your parents were gone?
So when they were gone, I assumed that Angel was going to be inside my parents' room because obviously they were the ones leaving, so their bedroom was open. But then my dad, he was like, can she stay inside your room? And I really didn't like that.
Well, hold on. Did that used to be her room also?
Yeah, we used to share the room, but
Okay.
I've been staying in it for like months, like over different breaks. I would stay in
Right,
it
just,
alone.
okay.
There's only one
But that
bed
was
now.
her room when she was allowed in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you want her to be able to stay in that room, Dad?
Because I didn't trust Angel.
In your room?
Yes.
Why?
Because the person she's dating,
Okay.
I thought they're gonna take stuff out the room.
Well, why do you let her in the house if you think she's going to steal things?
Well, that's my daughter.
He wanted
Okay, so
to-
which
Yeah.
is it, though? So you have her
I
stay in
don't-
this room, and you stay in your parents' room. Mm-hmm. All right, and then what happens?
First of all, I couldn't take all my clothes inside of my parents' room. So when I came in and I knocked on the door, and she said that she was getting dressed for work. So I stood there for a little bit, then she opened the door, and I was like, I just need to grab my clothes. So I grabbed one of the laundry baskets, and I put it inside my parents' room, but then she shut the door and she locked it. And I knocked on it, and I was like, I still have more stuff like I need to grab. And she was like, I'm getting dressed for work. So I said to her, well, you're about to leave for work anyway, so I'm gonna get in there regardless. You know, I was mad, but I was like, I was right, because I'm like,
What
just
are
let
you
me
so
in.
mad? Can I ask you something? What are you so mad at?
I'm
Food
mad-
on the floor from the fridge?
No, I'm not mad about that. I'm mad because over the summer, we had bought groceries together so we can have food for work, because like it was you could bring food like for lunch. And she was like blackmailing me. She was like, if you want lunch for work, you gotta bring me something from the house, like things she left behind, and she would blackmail me for it. And I didn't understand why she was doing that, because if she would have just asked me to bring her the stuff, I would have brought it. Like, regardless, she was like, can you bring me a shirt? I would have just bought it. She didn't have to blackmail me for it. And she would just be like, every time I would try to talk to her, she would just act like I was just bothering her and stuff like that. And I didn't understand why she was doing that. Like, she just flipped the switch. Like, I really don't know why she's angry at me. Like, she started blackmailing me for just because I wanted lunch for work. And I'm like, I don't care if you want me to bring you stuff from home. I'll bring it to you. Like, it's not a big deal. Like I said, she was like my best friend, so I wouldn't, like, you don't need to, like, be like, you need to do this for me to do that, you know? And then I would ask her, like, you know, we were trying to move to the dorms, and I was like, can you and your boyfriend bring me so I can go get boxes, you know, so I can get some boxes so we can bring our stuff to the dorms, you know? And
It's not how you imagined moving into college.
No,
with
and
your
then-
sister as your roommate.
and then when I
you
brought-
imagined it going a little more differently where she would be a
Exactly.
part of it. And I imagine you imagined it that way too. So she says, I'm getting ready for work. You're mad and you tell her that you're gonna get in there anyway. What happens?
So then, like, she leaves, and I go in there, and I grab the clothes, and I just put it back inside my parents' room. That's it, you know? But then, like, 2 days later, something told me, like, go check your clothes. Like I said, I can't bring all my clothes inside there. So I check my clothes, and I see some, like, white stuff on it. And I smell it, and I'm like, it's a leave-in conditioner for my locks. And I look around, and I see my shoes on the ground, and it's filled with the leave-in conditioner. And I'm mad because she ruined my shoes. So I opened her suitcase, and I took everything out, and I just threw it around the room. I know that was bad, but I was mad, you know. So I was like throwing everything around the room. So then later that night, I leave, you know. And then it's like 9 o'clock. I'm assuming that's when she gets home from work, and my sister calls me, and she's like, "Hey, she just went inside your room."
The 21-year-old calls you and says that Angel is inside your room doing what?
She's inside the room, and she's cutting up my pillows and my shoes. And I'm like, what? And I'm obviously like really, really upset. Like, I was like, there's no reason you should cut up my stuff because I didn't cut up your stuff. Yeah, I threw it out the suitcase, but that's not the same.
Did you cut up the clothes?
Yes. Can I tell you the reason why?
Go ahead.
The defendant was just explaining how her father kicked her out of the family home. This is so sad. Let's listen.
What she's saying is not true. When I first came into the house after my parents said I could stay there, I brought my stuff in the room. The next morning, I'm getting ready for work. I hear bang on the door. It wasn't a nice
Polite knock.
Yeah, polite knock. Oh my God. She was knocking, like banging. I said, I'm getting dressed. 'Cause she didn't say it was her. I thought it was my brother. So I was like, I'm getting dressed. I get dressed, open the door. She like looks in and then walks out. And she's yelling at my brother. She walks out. So I'm like looking at her like, why did you do that? I close the door. She starts banging again. She was like, I'm still coming in there. That's still my room. She was just like, when I leave, that I'm still gonna get in the room regardless. So it doesn't matter what you have in there. And so I just ignored her, got my stuff, brought it to work. My boyfriend was saying, like, you know, she has a habit of stealing your stuff. Make an inventory of everything you have in your suitcase just in case anything goes missing. I have the evidence of where she took stuff from out of it, threw the stuff around the room. Bring my stuff to work.
What did she take?
Like underwear, socks again, like my like shirts and stuff like that, like work shirts. And so I come home one day and the stuff is thrown out, like what I walk into. I don't know what happened. I don't know why she did it, because what she's talking about with the conditioner and stuff like that, I don't know, because the dog goes in there, everybody's going in there. The room was a mess, like I said.
So you admit to cutting up her clothes, which you're about to tell me about.
I don't know
but
what
you
she's talking
didn't,
about.
according to you, you didn't do the conditioner.
No.
All right, go on.
And so when I come home and my stuff is missing, the stuff is like thrown out, I was like, okay, well, I went in the room and I cut up a pillowcase, her shoes, her work shirt, and like two or three other
You just took
shirts.
a scissors and literally just made cuts in it
Yeah.
to ruin him.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was a knife. I'm just letting that be.
Was it a knife or was it scissors?
I couldn't find scissors, so I used a knife.
Okay. Well, you know, you're resourceful.
Can I say something?
Wait a second.
Okay.
What is this?
That's the shirts, and
A shirt? Just a moment. I'm not on the next topic. What is this?
That's shorts, and then pants, shirt, more pants, more shirts.
All right. So, do you feel like the family's ganging up on you?
Definitely. Like I said that night when I came in and they were all talking about me and like.
Well, but I mean, they are concerned because they have this concern about who you're dating. Do you think that their concern is wrong and misplaced because he's a nice guy and just because he's older, so what?
Yes, because I was trying to explain it to my dad. Like, I get the age difference is not like the best, but my parents also have a major age difference. So I was like, if anything, you guys should understand. And my dad basically told me that like my mom was more mature because she was pregnant at the time around my age. And I was like, so I have to be pregnant in order to be mature enough? I said, shouldn't it be?
What's the age difference between your parents?
12 and
the age difference between you and the person you're seeing?
11. So I was just like,
Here's the weird part. for me, Dad. The weird part is that usually, and I would think particularly in the case of twins, the sisters, and I'm kind of proud of this, my children will side with each other on just about everything against their dad and I, because it's just such solidarity, because they're best friends, cradle to grave. You two are supposed to be best friends, womb to grave. And I'm just trying to figure out, because it boggles the imagination that you're starting college together, that you're freshmen at the same college, that you're sleeping in the same room, and you two didn't patch it up. Do you miss your sister?
It's not like I don't try to have a relationship with her. We started talking a little bit when we were in college, but then all of a sudden she just cut me off again. Like, we were hanging out, and then I don't know what happened, and she just cut me off again, and I really don't know what I did. And it's not like and she's saying that, like, I'm stealing her clothes, and she's telling people I'm stealing her underwear, stealing her clothes. But that's not how it happened. Like, she wouldn't take it, and then I said,
Do
okay,
you
if you
miss
don't take
your
the clothes,
sister?
I'm gonna take it.
I do, and I have text messages where I'm saying that, where I'm telling her, like, saying that I miss my sister.
That's not true. That's a lie. That is a lie.
How are you gonna say
she
I'm
does not do
lying?
that. I'm telling you, like, this is like
There were times
can't.
where I would say to her, like why are you doing things like this? Like,
She's
and the
lying.
time where
Stop.
like, is she gonna keep cutting me off? Like,
Go
I'm
ahead,
just trying to
go ahead.
explain that I would tell her, like, why are you doing this? Like, can I get my stuff back? Like what you're doing is wrong. I told her to her face, I said, what you're doing is
Okay,
wrong.
that's not, I don't think you're understanding what I was talking about. I'm not talking about the two of you continuing to blast the other one and telling them that they're wrong. I'm talking about the opposite of that. This should have gone so differently. The way this should have gone is this should have been something that bonded you guys forever. That you went to college, in the same dorm, in the same dorm room. You know, you folks have shared a bedroom your entire lives. I mean, think about that. And then you were doing it again in college. And it would have been great. And then it wasn't. And she perceives it's because of who you're dating. And you perceive that she is siding with parents when you expected your sister, of all people, to side with you, particularly when it's kind of hypocritical since your parents have a 12-year difference. You know, is there something wrong with the guy himself?
Yes, he's just not it, and he has a kid. Like, he has a whole nother woman living with him who he claims is just his friend, but she's sleeping in his bed and stuff. We just don't, and I'm like, we try to say those stuff to her and tell her, and she doesn't want to listen.
And it's right and normal that you say the stuff to her. The part I don't get is the complete write-off. Like, how does your mother?
I didn't write her off.
Oh, you two were best friends, and now you're in court.
She wrote me
so,
off. I did not
so
write her
clearly, that's the part I don't get. But I really don't get how mom doesn't take the day off to come to court to tell me what's going on here, because it's really, God, they're 19. They're adults under the eyes of the law. But how are you and your wife not able to fix this?
Well, she cut us off. I don't have her number.
She blocked them from her number. My dad would text her all the time.
I gave my dad my number.
And she blocked it.
Stop.
Blocked it.
I don't know why they're saying these things and they're lying, because first of all, my boyfriend's friend, she has cancer. He's her caretaker.
Okay, we're going to other places.
And then also,
did you block your dad from your number?
After he kicked me out the second time in December, but he had my number. He texted me, so I don't know why they're saying they had no contact with me. Heaven had my number, my dad had my number, my sister had my number.
What did your parents say to you other than you should pay for the clothes that you ripped up?
They said, you're disrupting the household and you need to leave.
This is such a family drama, and just watching it, it's really difficult because you want this family to settle their differences and reconcile. Let's find out if that happens.
Did they tell you you need to pay for it and then you can stay?
I can check the text messages. I'm not sure if they said that, but they did say you had to pay $250. And
you have to leave, or you've got to leave.
I'm not sure.
Oh, it's critical.
It says, are you coming back home? You need to cash up Heaven for all the clothes you destroyed. If you don't, you cannot stay here. You are disrupting the home.
Okay, so that's not throwing you out and telling you to pay. That's telling you to pay, or in order to make peace here, or then you're going to have to leave.
I don't feel like I just.
Where'd you go? To his house?
No, I stayed in I stayed outside, stayed in a hotel, and then I ended up in a shelter.
Did you really end up in a shelter?
I have the paperwork saying that I was staying in a shelter. I had nowhere to go, and it was 30 degrees outside. I'm too young to book a hotel, so my boyfriend had to book one for me, and then I was waiting over a week for the shelter to call me back, and I ended up staying in the shelter. And I don't get how I'm disrupting the home if she did something to me as well that caused me to do something. So obviously I'm not saying that what I did was right, but how am I disrupting the home?
Stop. You're not really asking what did you do, right? Because
No,
you told me what you did, but
No,
go
she's
ahead.
saying the
Stop,
father cut my
stop.
stuff.
And don't just keep disagreeing verbally with everything she's saying when she's in the middle of testimony. Because I know that it's not like nobody here loves each other. Do you love your sister?
I do.
Do you miss your mother?
Yeah, I do.
Do you love your father?
Yeah, I do.
Do you talk to your other siblings?
I tried to.
And they won't talk to you?
They won't talk to me, and my sister, she just didn't text me back. And I mean, I tried to speak.
Do you miss your daughter?
Of course.
He doesn't act like it, and I told him that. He said, I miss you. I said, then show it.
The day
and he
after.
said,
Everybody
okay.
stop. You be quiet. For the second time, I'm telling you. Everybody stop. Dad, is there anything you want to say to your daughter?
I love you. I want you back. It's hard. It makes me sad that you are not together, and everybody loves you.
Dad, if you want to walk over, you can.
First time hugging.
You weren't there for me since I got to college.
I text you.
Barely.
No. Everything this whole semester was awful. It was awful on everybody's part. It was awful. The question is the rest of our lives going to be awful, or are we going to try to fix this? Because, we have a situation here that could have been a small situation, and it has become an incredibly big situation because it's not about the clothes. It's not. Let me ask you a question. Is there anything that you would like to say to your sister? And I'm going to ask her the same question in a moment, okay? Where you're not talking about who's to blame. Is there anything that you would like to say to your sister?
I just miss my friend. I miss having someone, to talk to about stuff, because this situation has been a lot, and I feel like I'm going through a lot, and I don't have anyone to really talk to, and I miss having a friend there.
Do you want it to change?
Of course I want it to change, but I don't think it's going to change.
No, we're going to leave out the buts, because everybody has behaved badly. Angel, is there anything you want to say to your sister?
Well, I wanted to let her know that I do love her, and that if she ever really needed me, I would obviously be there for her. And I thought she was my best friend and my only friend, and now I have nobody. I don't hang out with anybody in college because the one person I thought I would be with is my sister. And if we were friends, I wouldn't have stayed in the shelter. I wouldn't have done all these things. I would have just had my friend, and that's all I really needed throughout this whole situation.
Did you folks know she was staying in a shelter?
No.
That had to be a punch in the gut.
I heard of it.
That had to be a punch in the gut. Let me ask you guys something. Do you want this to change?
I do, but she's apologized.
But now, what did I just say about buts? If there's an apology or if there's a statement with a comma but, then you're not. It kind of really waters down the original statement. Do you want it? All I'm asking is do you want it to change, Angel?
Yes.
Do you want it to change, Heaven? Take a step towards each other and say what you want to say.
I never chose my boyfriend over you. We invited you to hang out. I wanted you to. It really does feel like that, because you really over the summer you really changed.
Heaven, you can't change the last semester. You can change this semester, okay? Do you want to change this semester, or is it just over between you and your sister?
Welcome back to The People's Court. I got to tell you, this is a hard one to watch. That this family has just been ripped apart. It is just unclear whether these twin sisters are going to have a relationship in the future. The father sure seems to want that. Let's see if it happens. Let's go back inside the courtroom.
Do me a favor. Get back in the center there and hug each other. Hug each other. Get back in there and hug each other. You're both ridiculous. You love each other. No. Right. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, Heaven. Did you just get back? No. I want to see a real one. I don't want to see. No. Squeeze harder. 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 That's how you do it. That's how you do it. For the love of God, with all the ridiculous stuff that there is in this world, do you understand how incredibly petty the two of you have become? You are sisters, best friends, cradle to grave. Keep it that way. You are going to pay for the clothes. It's not worth $500. I'm going to order you to pay $200. That's my verdict. Good luck, ladies. Sorry, I know we're in the middle of a pandemic.
I love you. I love you so much. Oh my God. I love you too. Yes, sir. I've been watching since like 8. Yeah. This is my dream moment. Yes, literally. Oh my God.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Please tell me
Thank
it's
you.
going to last. Please
Yes.
tell me it won't be like the dorm. It's not like the dorm, right?
No.
Let's make it work from here on in, okay? It'll be great. Make it great. Both of you just try as hard as you can to be even better than you think you can be. If you both just try to be the best you can be without any comma buts, it'll be great. It'll be a great year, okay?
Thank you.
Let's get everybody out here. Angel, Heaven, and Dad. Let me just ask you briefly what you think about what just happened.
I think it was needed. Like, I'm really grateful for this because I feel like we would have never talked again, honestly, if we didn't come here.
Do you feel the same way?
I feel the same way, and hopefully things go back to the way they were. I mean, obviously, I'm going to text her after this and be like, you want to go get some ramen or something like that.
I was thinking the same thing.
But yeah, I mean, I do love my sister, and I do miss her, and I'm glad that we got to talk things out, so yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, as the grandfather of twins, it's so great to see you. You got to stay together, you know. Dad, you got to, what's your reaction? Step over here.
I'm glad.
So I can hear what you're
I
thinking.
haven't seen Angel for a while, and I'm happy they're together, and I missed them, both of them. And she can come back home anytime. You hear me? It's always an open door to you, both of you. I love you.
I love you too.
Okay?
Well, let's hope things work out now, that this has been a beginning, a new beginning for you, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Go ahead and go out together.
All right.
Stick
You're really
together.
funny, by the way.
All of you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Marilyn, you've had some emotional cases during the course of your career, but this one might be the most emotional that I've seen with these two twin sisters. What can you tell me about what was going through your head out there?
I don't know, just the pain. Like, it just was breaking my heart.
Right.
I just kept imagining my daughters, and it was a tough case in terms of just trying, it was a very easy case in terms of she cut the clothing rule.
Yeah,
but
the legal issue wasn't that hard to resolve.
No, but as a mother, I was just thinking, there's some good that we can do here, and we on the People's Court work so hard for so long to educate people and teach them how to lead better lives, but this was a human, familial kind of, what can I do? What can I say? Please, Lord, let there be something I could say to make this work, because everyone is crying.
Right.
It was just like, I mean, I just hope it sticks. That's all I hope. I hope that
this is the big turning point,
Yeah.
And when you said, look, that's your best friend from cradle to grave, that really touched me, because
We say that to our daughters all the time.
We do say that to our kids, and we remind them of that, and I think they've taken it to heart.
They really
as well.
have. That's the best thing we've ever done.
I am having a hard time figuring out what to say to you, because this is the last People's Court show. And I say a hard time because, as old as I am, I have been doing the People's Court for more than half my life. The show has been on the air 39 years between Judge Wapner and the second run with Judge Milian. And it's kind of defined my life. And my partner in all of this, David Scott, who is the executive producer of this show, and has done such a brilliant job doing this. He has
That's so
joined
nice
me.
of you, Harvey. I appreciate that. Thank you.
David, honest to God, I remember first meeting you 26 years ago in the lobby of the Paramount Hotel where Stu Billett, who created this show, said, I think you two may get along, so why don't you guys meet and see if that'll work? And that began our journey.
It did. I remember when Stu said how to go with Harvey. I said, Stu, we spoke for about 2 hours, and I think I said about 25 words. But Harvey, listen to this. Harvey, we have done, in the 26 years we've been doing it since, that we brought it back, we did 4,280 shows. We did 12,690 cases, and litigants and witnesses who have come through those courtroom doors, 38,000. That's enough to fill Yankee Stadium or Shea Stadium, right? Wow.
That's just really unbelievable.
I know.
And so much, David, has happened to us, to the world, to television over these, the 26 years of this run. Our lives have I watched your children being born. We put the birth of your kids.
Harvey, Jake was the first born, and since then we had 110 children over the 26 years.
And where is
three
Jake today, by the way?
And 3 grandchildren. We've had 15 Emmy nominations. We just got our 16th. We've won 4. We've gone to the Emmys over and over. Everybody, we had a great tight-knit staff, producers, crew. Everybody just pulled together, and it's it was such a great thing. And the People's Court is not dead. You watch. We're going to find somehow, some way to bring this back in some form. It's too good, right, Harvey?
I agree with you, but David, that said, it wasn't all great. When you faked having somebody vomiting on me in Times Square, which I remember and will never forget. That wasn't great, David.
I know. I thought you were never going to speak to me again. But then I dressed up as a chicken, and I came to you in Times Square, and we did a little segment, and then I took my chicken head off, and the look on your face, wow, it was precious. We've had some amazing moments.
I think I interviewed the chicken.
You did interview the chicken.
And remember, and David, we've had celebrities when we were down in Times Square. We had a lot of, remember Don King was there one day?
Yeah.
We had a lot of celebrities actually come by and kind of chit chat with us.
Do you remember the guy who showed up in a costume and he was like sitting on the toilet in an outhouse?
Yes. See, the fun of that was pretending like there was nothing unusual about the whole thing.
Right. No,
I just want to tell you one quick story because it's really about Stu. You and I,
Without Stu,
we love Stu Billett.
Yeah.
Stu Billett was one of the most exceptional people I've ever met in my life, and was my mentor and your mentor.
Yes.
And Stu passed away not too long ago, and it's such a loss for the People's Court family.
He invented this genre 39 years ago, and he will always hold a place in all of our hearts forever and ever. And just on a last closing thing, Harvey, I would say the Mary Tyler Moore Show was probably the best ending of any TV show, in history.
Yep.
And the lights will be going out in the courtroom, and we have to say goodbye. And just thanks to the viewers for 39 years for watching the show, and we appreciate it, and we've loved every minute of it.
And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, David Scott, for all of the support and just for brilliantly guiding the ship.
Thank you.
And thank you to everybody who has supported the show and watched it for so many years.